Hello, and welcome back, everyone. Getting back started on our foundation and pillars to attaining financial freedom. This evening, we'll be talking about change. Change will never happen until the pain of staying the same. It's just wisdom from era gone by. Something that's always stuck out to me when it comes to change. Now, with the pursuit of financial freedom comes change. It is inevitable unless you're already wealthy. You know all the nuances, lifestyle changes, etc. that come along with attaining financial freedom. And again, if you have all those, chances are you're not listening to me right now. And if you are an employee, please stay, like, comment, subscribe, share what you've learned. It helps everyone. If you have good habits already, then they're going to serve you well in the future. If you have poor habits, then you will need to change. You cannot keep doing what you are doing and expect different results. That is the epitome of insanity. Now, this change isn't going to happen overnight. This, much like anything else, is a process. It starts with the little things, and those habits affect the larger things. So don't expect tonight if you, I don't know, spend $30, every 2 days on lottery tickets, to tomorrow going to spend that same $30 putting it in an investment portfolio. You're starting one. Now, I'm not saying that can't happen, but odds of that happening are slim to none. Now, if you can, by all means, go ahead. Most of the people I've spoken with or worked with in the past, that is not the case. It is something that you have to work on, something you have to make up your mind mentally before you engage and successfully complete it in the actual world. So you have to just make up your mind, I am going to change. I am tired of living paycheck to paycheck. I am tired of squandering. I work too hard to waste my money. I want to be free to buy my family whatever they need. If you truly want financial freedom, you have to want it within your heart before you want it outside, because you do on the outside what's on the inside. So you change the inside, you change the outside. You have to change your mentality, way of thinking. You're no longer slave to debt. You have to be the master of your own financial freedom. But with all that being said, if you can't handle $100, you can't handle 1,000. So you might say, well, I don't really have much right now. So what's it matter whether or not I waste, my, 2,000 a week, 1,000 a week, whatever, however much. If you can't handle that and change your mentality, your way of thinking, this bondage, subservient mentality, you will never obtain financial freedom. So don't expect, one day when you're older or whatever, you can suddenly, if you've been wasteful your entire life, to suddenly, okay, I have money now, I'm going to start doing this, and that. No, that is not how it works. Many millionaires go broke all the time. Countless professional athletes, former singers go broke. Having money does not make you good with money, especially if you come upon it suddenly. Even if you worked hard, make good decisions to get that money, and you begin to make fortunes with that money, you will not keep that money. You have to continue to make good choices, wise choices with your money. That's where the change comes in. If you want to stay rich, you have to make good choices, and that if you currently making poor choices, that requires change. Now, many people think, if you are just starting out, you don't really have a whole lot, and you're trying to get on the track to pursue financial freedom, you don't do this, don't do that. False. That is not what I, teach. That is not what you should do, because people are human. Humans want happiness. You want to go for that vacation. You want to go for that cruise. You want to see your kids in a nice school. You want to, get this kind of card, do that. Now, what happens when people get, and it's good to have, have the right mentality, they really want it for themselves, they want it in their heart and all that. When you deprive yourself of all the little things, and also little, but things in life that bring you happiness, you begin to resent and disdain, all while chipping away at your resolve to, stay on track, make good choices with your money. Well, it kind of just balloons and builds up and snowballs, until one day it's just going to explode, and you go overboard with impulse buys and make poor choices. So instead of depriving yourself, make replacements. So instead of saying, for instance, I love the gas station because there's so many analogies to be made. The gas station is so great for so many examples. But if you're at the gas station, and there's, a Monster, that's what, $4 or $5 for one. Depends where you live in the country, 2, 3, 4, from about $2 to $5. But there's, a 5-hour energy for $1.50. Granted, I know everybody has their preference energy drinks. It's just an example. It could be made for many other things. But if the 5-hour energy is considerably cheaper than the Monster, don't deprive yourself. Just, I'm going to save that $5. I'm tired. I'm just going to suck it up, drink coffee. Yes, provided at the work site or whatever it is. No, because then next time you go in the grocery store or the gas station, you're going to think, well, you know what, last time I didn't get that, I got to deserve a treat, and you're going to go overboard. So don't necessarily think of it as deprivation. It's more so a replacement for what you desire, just cheaper. Or even if you don't want to get that particular, save even more money, instead of getting it Monday through Friday, get it Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, or any other combination. Just you can reduce the frequency, substitute, for a cheaper brand, like you have your preference, it doesn't have to be a drink, just anywhere you feel this is applicable, you should go ahead and do so. At the end of the day, it's still energy, and then everybody has the preference, and everything works. That's just it's just an example. It can work for any other aspect of your life. And secondly, stay focused on the goal. It is a long, arduous journey, so it is important that you stay focused. Keep your hand behind the wheel, keep on chugging along, don't turn, left or right, just keep going straight ahead. It will pay off literally in the end. That is not on purpose, but that works. So you will pay off your bills in the end. If you are on the journey of financial freedom, you cannot stop, you cannot take a break. You take a break, it's going to balloon again. You have to keep going until you get to the moon. Brings us to our third. Now, if this is the journey to financial freedom, you have to keep good company. It will benefit you, benefit them, and your family if you keep good company. Why make it harder on yourself to try and do the right thing when you have, with reckless friends, who, trust fund babies, or they're married to a doctor, or they don't understand what you're going through. Why? They don't understand. They're not going to help you. They're not giving you money. They're not trying to help you out. It's not their finances. Their kids, don't need this, that, and the other. And if they do, they can go ahead and afford it anyway. They're not interested in encouraging you to pursue financial freedom, and they can encourage you to make poor choices. Is that if their own financial freedom, or even your financial freedom, is not something they're concerned about, do not copy them. And if they continue to hamper your efforts, not to say you cut them off, but limit their influence in your financial decision making, because it isn't something that they're worried about. They're not worried about you making it either. Now, if you have, I say, like, this, it still goes back to, don't deprive yourself, replace it. So, as an older, wiser couple, they've gone through this before, and they've managed to work their way out of debt, and now they're living in financial freedom. Listen to them. An older, wiser wisdom. It's not really an age thing. If you, investor, or analyst, or somebody, who's familiar with financial freedom, and can give you pointers and, how to get out of debt and gain financial freedom, by all means, make new friends who are going through what you're going through. I'd love for people to meet in the comment section, and just share. You don't have to share, but at least, give your pointers, give what has worked for you, your take in what you've seen and how it has helped you. And then four, it's okay to stumble. Nobody's perfect. You are going to stumble, and if not, let me know how you did. Let all of us know how you did. You're going to stumble. That's just part of it. But the issue really isn't stumbling. It's getting back up. If you go out one day and you spend, I don't know, $800 on a watch, and you make, I don't know, $500 a week. You have bills to pay, car payment, rent, whatever. Yes, you stumble with a stupid decision. Return and get the money back. I don't know, it's just an example. But if you do that, don't stay down while I'm stuck. I'm just gonna pay this watch off and get back on it. I mean, no, you can return the watch. Again, this particular example. Return the watch, get the money, pay your bills appropriately. You don't need an $800 watch at the moment as not a necessity. But you can continue and get back on the road to financial freedom. We all make mistakes. Or even if you're doing the right thing, life's not perfect. You can do the right thing and still stumble. So if you make an investment, it's a tide shifty, and it goes south, you can know that you were trying to do the right thing. Not all investments, pay off. It puts you a little further on the road, but keep going as long as you get back on the road towards financial freedom. Lastly, it's a journey. It is a hard journey to financial freedom. And living recklessly and living ways that are opposite and polarizing to financial freedom, those are things we shouldn't normalize. But what we should normalize are positive money habits. Pass it on to your kids. Create generational wealth. Those are the things that make the difference. That is what needs to be normalized. Now, with all that being said, today I have spoken, like I said a couple nights ago, about debt and like how our culture has normalized, absurd amounts of debt. Like that's what people do. I went to college, got bumped to financial aid, right credit card, like a couple of grand on this card, a couple of grand on that card. You get $30,000 in debt, making $50K a year. You have a wife and 2 kids. It's a recipe for disaster. It goes back to making good habits. The road to financial freedom. It's not easy. It's not you don't do it for a try run, and then you get financial freedom, and then you go back to doing what you were doing before. No, you have to normalize it. Make the habits, positive money habits that you use to become financially free. Normalize it. Make those things a lifestyle choice, not just a trial. Normalize it. Make it your bread and butter. You teach your kids this is how we do it. Because there was a time when mom and dad struggled to pay the light bill every month. And do you know why we go to Disney every year or go on cruises? That are a tad bit on the pricier side, because mom and dad learned when we were younger. This is what you not to do, and we went through that. Things were hard when you were younger. Now that you guys are a little older, this is what we learned from financial freedom. This is how we became financially free. Don't do what we did. Normalize to create generational wealth for you and your family, so they don't have to go through it. And your family, and really you can have a richer life. And that's not even a financial term. I said richer, a more meaningful life. That is all I have for you guys this evening. Like, comment, and subscribe. And as usual, hit the notification bell at the bottom. Feel free to check out our other channel. Until next time.